What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So for this horror news update, Mads Mikkelsen is still hoping for a Hannibal revival. A fourth season of Brian Fuller and NBC's cannibal horror series has been long speculated. So I'm surprised to even see this in the news as far as Mads even making a statement on this. Now I know he's made statements on this before, but this is more recent. And while I'm sure he's still interested in it, I am far less hesitant to think that I wouldn't be surprised if NBC does this. Just based on where Hollywood is at, where it seems like Hollywood continues to find themselves in as far as reaching back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, as far as, TV shows or movies and doing remakes, reboots, doing prequels or sequels, constantly leaning back on previous things that were popular or that are still popular with a cult following. So, and I know, Hannibal did have its fair share of fans, and it did end on a cliffhanger. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if someone at NBC said, hey, he's still interested in playing the character. We need some content. After what's, they could look over and see, hey, well, Dexter's making a resurgence. It's popular again. They're going to, and they're pumping out more Dexter content. Let's bring back Hannibal, right? And Mads is wanting to come back again and play the character. That gives NBC some content over on, their streaming platform. So why not do it? So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get news at some point this year that says this is coming back on in one way, shape, or form. So the article goes on to mention the show may have been off the air for over a decade now, but Mads Mikkelsen is still holding out hope for a fourth season of NBC's Hannibal. Reporting from the Hannibal reunion panel at Seattle's Emerald City Comic Con 2025 this weekend, which saw Mikkelsen and Hannibal co-star Hugh Dancy. Popverse reported that the most recent iteration of everyone's favorite cannibal psychiatrist has no interest in imagining an end for his character. Quote, why would we want to see an ending? We want to see it continued. The final season of Brian Fuller's Gory series, which aired from 2013 and 2015, ended in a bloody cliffhanger as Mikkelsen's Hannibal and Dancy's long-suffering Will Graham took a romantic tumble off a cliff and into the ocean after a grisly showdown with the Tooth Fairy killer Francis Dollarhide. At the panel, Mikkelsen stressed that he thinks Hannibal and Will survived the fall, and that any new season of Hannibal would need to take into account the years passed since the last episode. So we're talking from this point forward, we're talking 10 years, and this show hasn't even been any talk about actually green lighting this. So that'd be 10 plus years that going based on what he would like to see as far as a time jump. So quote, obviously there's no way at least Hannibal's not going to survive that. Of course he's going to survive that, and so is Will. It's just a question of how much we jump in time, because if we do a jump of 6 or 7 years, it can be very interesting what these guys are doing now. So I don't want to see an ending. I want to see a fresh start. A fourth season of Hannibal has been talked about since NBC canceled the show in 2015 due to various rights issues between Netflix and Amazon. The series has yet to be revived, but conversations have been going on behind the scenes since 2017. The 2019 interview with Blade discussing Mikkelsen revealed that he thinks a fourth season of Hannibal could be set to adapt perhaps the most famous story in the Hannibal universe, The Silence of the Lambs. Quote, I know that Fuller was working to get the rights to Silence of the Lambs so he could get in there and use some of those characters for his own universe. I have a hunch that might be where we're going. Given that Thomas Harris's 1988 novel Silence of the Lamb takes place 5 years after the events of Red Dragon and the Reign of Terror, Dollarhide, the timing could work out pretty perfectly. As Popverse correctly pointed out, Dexter is soon. Yeah, there you go. They're even talking about Dexter here. Dexter is soon to set return with a new sequel season, decades after the original series wrapped up. So it's definitely not beyond the realms of possibility that Hannibal could take a leaf out of that book. It's television. After all, stranger things have certainly happened. Fuller and Mikkelsen are also set to reunite soon with the upcoming horror feature Dust Bunny. So, I mean, they called it out themselves, right? As far as Dexter being an example. And I think Dexter is an example. Now, don't get me wrong, Dexter New Blood, I don't think was a hit. I don't think that was a win for the Dexter universe, so to speak. I think they are banking on the popularity of Dexter Original Sin resonating with fans, and I think they're banking on Dexter Resurrection hopefully resonating with fans, because a lot of fans like myself, especially of the original series, I didn't like how the original series ended. I didn't care for New Blood as a one and done series, and I definitely didn't care on how it ended. And we know Clyde Phillips has spoken about that he knows fans weren't happy about either ending, which has led them down the path of Dexter Original Sin and then Dexter Resurrection. We know there's talks about Dexter, the Trinity Killer. Now that will, of course, just focus on the early days or the early years of the Trinity Killer. Won't focus on Dexter at all. That will also be a prequel with John Lithgow coming in and doing the voiceover like Michael C. Hall does. So with all that said, again, I wouldn't be surprised if NBC, someone, happens to talk to the right person, get the right person to green light it and get this going. But if talks have been going on since 2017, it's been 8 years. And if talks have been going on that long, it makes you then wonder what they've been waiting for. But if they've been waiting for something like a Dexter resurgence to happen, see how that works out, see how fans respond to it. If that's what's been holding them back, now they have the rationale and numbers to show that fans did gravitate back towards a Dexter show, and they did for Original Sin, and they're looking forward to Dexter Resurrection. We did a review of Dexter Original Sin on this channel, a weekly episode review. I thought it was okay, didn't think it was needed, thought it was pretty mid. There were a couple great episodes, but for the most part, very subpar. It's a one and done watch for me. I won't go back and watch it again. I have gone back and watched the Dexter, the original series, here and there over the years, but for the prequel, I would have no reason to go back and watch it again. And now there's even talks of them doing a season 2 because it didn't end off, I think, the way many of us thought it would end. So we could get a season 2 of that, which again could just be more fuel to the fire of bringing back a Hannibal series for a 4th season. Hopefully if they do bring it back, it is for a 4th season, and they don't bring it back for, let's say, like a TV movie, or hey, instead of doing an 8-episode series or 10, 12 episodes, let's just do a Hannibal movie based off the TV series, and that will be considered as the 4th season. I wouldn't want to see that either. If you're going to do it, do a season, do at least 10, 12 episodes, and then see where it goes from there and decide whether or not you continue. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for this horror news update. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Hannibal, a possible return. Would you be interested in seeing a 4th season if it did get greenlit? Were you a fan of the original 3 seasons? Also, if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we will see you at the next one. Peace.